Thanks for tuning into Heavy, where we bring you the latest interviews with local, national, and international artists. Today's victim is...
Hello there, I am Simon Wright, ex-AC/DC and Dio, and I'm really looking forward to coming to Australia again in October with the Metal Gods tour featuring Joel McDonald and James Morley and some very reputable characters. So yeah, please come along, check it out. It's going to be a night of some really classic, unforgettable songs. Hope to see you there.
That it will be, Simon. Thanks for joining us today, brother.
Pleasure.
So, as you say, man, you will be hitting Australia in October as part of the Metal Gods tour with Ripper Owens, playing a selection of songs from Judas Priest, Dio, Black Sabbath, and Rainbow. So, tell us a bit about the run of shows, mate. It's a new concept on us.
Well, my friend James Morley had the idea. We did some shows. I can't. Was it 2017 or 2018? I can't remember. But we did a little run with Tim, with us doing a Priest set. But this time James thought, he came up with the concept of let's do some Dio and Priest, and I was like, well, do you want to throw in some UFO and Rhino Bucket as well, or what? It's like, but no, it seemed like a really good idea, and there's such a massive. You can delve into a huge catalog there, obviously with the Priest stuff and the Dio stuff, and Ronnie's back catalog as well, Black Sabbath and Rainbow, and that's exactly what we're doing. So it's going to be a great night. Some classic songs in there.
I know we've already said this, mate, but I think it's important to point this out again. Like, you, of course, played with Dio and Ripper played with Judas Priest. So essentially, it's not a cover band and it's not a tribute band. It's more or less the real thing people are getting in it.
Yeah. Well, we're celebrating Judas Priest and obviously Ronnie James Dio. It's whenever I play now, because he's not here anymore with Ronnie. I'm just paying the biggest compliment to him that I can possibly fathom. I'm just keeping his songs alive, and I think Tim's doing the same thing. Excuse me. We're doing some of the songs that Tim did with Judas Priest as well, like Burning Hell and One on One, which are from his time in Judas Priest too. So, it's there's some of his songs, and obviously his past with Priest. I was surprised because it didn't dawn on me. He'd been in Priest for like 8 years.
Oh, was it that?
And I was, it didn't dawn on me, and I'm going, Jesus, that's a while, and so we're both looking forward to bringing these great songs back to life again.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he's not just doing his era of Judas Priest, is he? He's covering the whole catalog.
Yeah, we're going to be doing classic Priest stuff and classic Dio stuff as well. Both sides of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned James Morley before, who of course has been in that many good bands. It would take all day to rattle them off, but is this actually his project? Has he put it together, has he?
Yeah, he likes to do that. I've known James for a long time. We first kind of met, I think it was when Facebook started up, and I was sort of in charge. Well, not in charge, but I was looking for talent for this AC/DC a tribute record that was done over here, and there were some really cool people playing out and stuff. And I suggested to the A&R guy, I know this guy who can play rhythm, pretty damn good, and I think he would, if we brought him over, we could get the rhythm tracks done, everything, and then just bring in all these, incredible players on top of it. And they all had the greatest respect for AC/DC. So it really worked out well. And that must have been, God, I don't know, about 16, 17 years ago now. So I've known James a long time, and he always seems to come up with these great ideas about these projects and, new slants on things and stuff. So it's really cool. He's a bit of a bastard, but,
Yeah, but he's a good bastard.
Yes, he is.
So is this something you're only doing in Australia, or are you looking at taking it elsewhere?
At the moment, it's just Australia, yeah, because I've got Tim's got a whole bunch of solo shows going on, I think, even into next year after this. So, and I have a project where we celebrate Ronnie. It's called Dio Returns. And we're going to get that up and running again, either right at the very end of this year or the beginning of next year. And it'll be with the LED screens and some 3D imagery that I've seen, which is pretty incredible. So we're both kind of a little bit busy, but it's good we get the time to do this. But if there is an offer to do it in Europe, we'd definitely think about it, obviously.
Man, yeah. And you mentioned you have done a couple of these shows before. So which era of that whole lot of music that you do you think goes down the best with the crowd? Which one gets the best response?
Well, I've only done, well, like I said, we did a little run with Tim and it went down great. You know, it really did. Everybody was, you know, it was only 4 or 5 shows too. And it you know, everybody was loving it. You know, it wasn't like a long tour and stuff and all. So it really worked out. But like I say, I usually come over and meet up with James and we do Bond But Not Forgotten. And that's always a thrill because it's roundabout, you know, it takes place around Bond's birthday and stuff. And it's just incredible. You know, some of the characters that you meet, you know, before and after the show, and they've got all these stories about Bond and everything. And I've learned, you know, so much about him and stuff because when I was in AC/DC, the guys more or less, they like to keep it quiet. They didn't really talk that much about him, which was understandable, you know, because he was such a blood brother to them. And, you know, so yeah, I love it coming over there. It's fantastic. I went to, you know, Fremantle and saw Bond's grave, and actually Tim went with me to that one as well. So it's fantastic. Love it.
All right. So how is this set list going to be structured? Like, are you going to do each band in blocks of songs, or will they get mixed up throughout the night?
Well, it was going to be that first way that you said, but then we thought, well, yeah, we should probably mix it up a bit, you know, make it a bit more, a little bit different. So yeah, it's a mixture of Priest and Dio and Black Sabbath and Rainbow in there as well. All the classics, all the good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, and like overall, mate, like it's a pretty nostalgic experience. Like, do you think the emotion will get the better of you at some stage while you're on stage? Like, it'd bring back a lot of memories.
It always does. I mean, you know, to an extent, some of it is just like you just remember. You know, it's like, you know, your muscles know where to go, whatever you call it. I forget what you call it, muscle memory or whatever. Oh, wow. But you know, there are times, you know, and it's mainly afterwards, actually, when you meet people and they start telling you stories about, you know, in my case, like Ronnie or, you know, or and they just, you know, tell you stories because Ronnie was an amazing man. I mean, people, you know, never forget when they met him, you know, because he always made an impression on people. He was brilliant like that, you know. He had a fantastic memory for places and names and situations and stuff like that. So, you know, and it's just good to hear. It's good to hear. Always good to hear stories about Ronnie.
Yeah, I bet, mate. I bet. And of course, the other major band that you have been involved with is AC/DC, mate. And it'd be completely un-Australian of me not to ask you about that, mate. So, what are some of your best memories of your time with AC/DC?
Oh, there's so many. I mean, we did some. I mean, I was in it for like 7 years or so, and excuse me, there were a lot of you know, the big shows like we did the Rock in Rio in '85 and stuff, and some of the Monsters of Rock shows in England at Castle Donington. Yeah, I mean, it's just you never cease to be overwhelmed by some of the stuff. You know, you look out and there's like, you know, 400, 500,000 people, you know, in Rio, and you're just like, wow, you know, just keep your head down, keep playing, you know.
Head down, bum up, and hit them sticks.
Exactly.
You actually played on the albums Fly on the Wall and Who Made Who and Blow Up Your Videos. So which one of those is your personal favorite?
I don't know if I have one. I mean, I think there's good moments on each of them in a different way, you know. And it was all great recording all 3 albums, you know, and stuff. It was really cool, you know. A lot of people I meet been a while since I did those albums. So, but I do meet people who tell me that they love this album, they love that, you know, and stuff. And some of them even say it's their favorite album and stuff. And so it's all good. It's nice. You know, I love meeting people and, you know, listen to what they think of like albums like that and the Dio albums as well that I did. So it's all good.
Yeah. Now, is there any chance of you sneaking one or two AC/DC songs into the Metal God set?
No, I don't think so. But on some of the shows, James is doing Bond But Not Forgotten. Are going to be opening up as well.
Everywhere except
so
you
know, if I can get my lung operated on, I might go in and sit in on a couple, you know.
And of course, you left AC/DC in 1989 to join Dio. So do you remember, was that a big decision for you at the time?
It kind of was, but it was a decision that I really felt strongly about because I needed to just move on, you know, like musically, you know, it was, it's kind of, it sounds crazy, but you know, when you're playing and stuff, you know, you want to do a bit more, and it's nothing against AC/DC. I've said this 1,000 times, you know, it's, excuse me, I just really needed just to move on and play more and find new things to play and stuff like that. I mean, I was in a band like 7.5 years, so it just became to that point that I just really needed to move on. And luckily enough, I found a home with Ronnie, so that was cool.
Yeah, very good. All right, Simon, thanks very much for your time today, man. Metal God starts in Brisbane on October 14th. It goes through Adelaide, Melbourne, and Sydney before finishing in Perth on October 22nd. So I know I, for one, can't wait to see the shows, brother. So it'll be good to catch up and have a beer.
Cool. Sounds good, Chris. I'll see you there.
All right, Simon. Take care, brother.